So welcome back on this special bonus day. Today I wanted to show you how to sew your squares together. So if you plan on making a blanket, for example, or really most things, you would need to sew them together. When you have more experience crocheting, do take a look at my Crocheting Your Granny Squares Together YouTube video. But for now, it's a lot easier to sew them together. The first thing to do is to make sure you've got the right sides facing up. So you can see this is the right side and this is the wrong side. So make sure that the same sides are facing upwards and place them side by side to double check. I always start in the corner and I sew all the way up to the next corner. We sew grannies in long rows first, so if you think of a long scarf, and then you would sew your long scarf panels together. So I've threaded my needle and you can see this is a blunt needle, so it's not sharp. This is useful because it will poke through my yarn easily without splitting it. Take your squares. I like to hold them side by side like this and make sure that they're aligned. Again, I've got the wrong sides facing each other. You want to make sure that the stitches, so those V's, are lined up side by side. So like I said, I start at the corner and I make sure that I start in the middle chain. So you remember those corners, we have 3 chain stitches. I'm going to sew in the middle of those 3 chains. I'm going to pick up these 2, so that V is a stitch, and then those 2 in the other corner of the second square. So pull that through and then tie a knot. And I like to make sure that the knot is on the wrong side, so it's behind the square. So now I'm going to start. I'm going to put the needle through my first stitch, so it's that V, and then you do the same on the other side, and I'm pulling it through, not too tight. And now I'm going to move to the left and I'm going to sew through 2 stitches again, 1 on each side. Importantly, I'm not pulling through too tightly because I want them to lay flat alongside each other when I open it up. I don't want it to have a ridge. So when I open this, you can see it's flat and it's quite perfect for a blanket. So continue sewing the edges until you get to the corner. And remember that you need to sew in that middle chain stitch. So that one there is my middle, and that's where I would stop sewing. So now I'll make a loop to knot this off, and then I'll weave it through on the other side before I cut the yarn. It's a very simple way of sewing your granny squares together, and it's the perfect activity to do while you're watching TV, you're on a bus, you're on the tube, or you're traveling. And now I'm going to leave you with some crochet granny square inspiration. The first part are crochet items I've googled today, which is the 27th of August, because I wanted to try and keep this as current as I could. So pause this video and put the kettle on and come back when you have a cuppa in your hand. There are just about 5 minutes or so left of this video. I've put the music back on in the background, so enjoy the inspiration and seeing what crochet is out there in the fashion world. Not surprisingly, granny squares are so current. There is lots you can do with it. And I also want you to check out the price tags. Honestly, there is no better time to crochet than now. So get hooking, everybody. final minute in this video are some pictures that I copied over to this video, including a mug cozy that you can make today with just 2 grannies and a button. And that's it. And this time it really is it. There is no more bonus video after this. Thank you so much for joining me in this challenge. Although it's officially over, I do hope that you stay in touch and tag me along your crochet journey at Tea and Crafting. I do try to reply to everything, and it would really make my day seeing them all. Thanks again, and happy crocheting.